Usually in spirituality, they all focus on how to make you free from conditioning. And this is not possible, because conditioning is perceptions that you have acquired genetically first, what you are born with, and then socially what you have acquired to function, in the world, in the society. So you need those perceptions, this conditioning, to function. That's why I call it the intelligence there. To be able, after a short time, to drive a car without thinking about what you're doing, this is the intelligence I'm talking about. The brain has already become conditioned to drive without any need for self-consciousness. To be free from that, it means you cannot drive anymore, for example. So it's not freedom from the conditioning that is important, and it's not possible. That's why in spirituality it has failed, this concept. Even the sages, I don't think they were free from the conditioning, because they were able to speak to people, have discussions with them. So to discuss and understand others when they are speaking means that you are self-conscious. Without self-consciousness, you cannot understand what the other person is saying. So how can you be free from conditioning and at the same time acting in the same way as everybody else, doing whatever you do, understanding language, understanding what's going on around you. So self-consciousness is there and the conditioning is there. Now freedom is not so from the conditioning itself, but from how this conditioning affects you. When there is discontinuity in this processing, which starts from the basic stimulus to language, to self-consciousness, when this process stops for some time, you feel that there is no impact for what you have learned, anything you have learned, because it's gone in a second. So if it was so important, it would have been there, stay there even when you lose self-consciousness, when you're awake. But everything is gone when this inner self-talk stops. So no thoughts, no feelings, no values, no morality, no questions about truth or anything else, because there is nothing going on in the brain in that moment when this inner self-talk stops. So you feel everything that you have learned, has gone. But also freedom comes from not living the duality of what you have learned anymore. For example, if you are, for example, angry, somebody said something and you're angry at this person. Immediately after that, you feel guilty, like I should not be angry, or I should not have said this, or should not have said that, because we have learned all these concepts in a dualistic opposites, as anger, I don't know what's the opposite, maybe peace or acceptance, love and hate, honesty, dishonesty, all of these, values, all of the concepts we have learned, we have learned them in this dualistic way. So immediately one concept or one value arises and the opposite value comes in, like making judgments and self-censorship about what you have felt, about what you have said. So now you're conscious of what happened, and also something else is coming in, contradicting what happened, make you feel guilty that you should not have said or done or so on. And this creates the conflict inside and the suffering and all what people are, complaining about. So freedom from the conditioning, in a state where you're free from conditioning, it does not mean that the anger is gone, the fear is gone, or whatever values you have acquired are gone. No, but experiencing them in this dualistic way is gone. If anger is there in me, for example, it's there to the utmost. I have no regret that I'm in this state. I have no regret that I have this feeling. So this is the freedom, there is no friction, there is no opposition to what's going on inside you, no other force trying to suppress what is going on. If I'm afraid, I should not be afraid. Why am I afraid? I should be, courageous, because courage, for example, is a value in the society. And so you feel, this kind of fear is not a good quality. How can I get rid of fear? So you get into this struggle, into this discussion with yourself, and you go on and on, But when there is no regret of being afraid, there is no shame of feeling afraid, I have no value of that. Courage is a value. So when I'm afraid, it's normal. When I'm angry, it's okay. Whatever feeling, it's okay. There is no suppression. There is no opposition to what's going on. This is the freedom. So you're not free from the conditioning itself. but from how you deal with it. Like I said, there is no battle in there.